welcome to Miles Ahead with me, Miles.
And me, Bradley.
And on today's episode, we're talking about a couple of topics. So first things first, we're going to be talking about the long-awaited HBO Max launch in the UK, as well as the Harry Potter series first look. I guess first things first, we should talk about the Harry Potter series.
Okay.
Being when was it this week? Thursday?
I believe it was the same day that HBO Max dropped in the UK.
So it was the same day, which was the 26th of March in the UK. They also, as Bradley mentioned, they dropped the first teaser for the Harry Potter series, which is titled the same as the book, which shouldn't really surprise me because that is what it's based on. But I thought, as it's a series, they would just call it Harry Potter. And that was it. They wouldn't do the book titles. But now they have.
I guess that each series of the will be titled after a book. And then each episode will be like episode 1 or part 1, part 2, or maybe chapter, if they're doing it that way. I mean, obviously not chronological chapters, but obviously chapter 1 to wherever the point is, etc. It didn't look too bad. And I still think some of the casting's a bit questionable.
Which ones are questionable, or what ones most like? I'm not sure about this.
Well, I think because I'm so used to sort of everyone, the sort of, you know, the early sort of late 90s, early 2000s Harry Potter, and all those characters, and used to seeing certain characters in a certain way. So, I mean, I think he could surprise me, but Nick Frost did look a bit out of place. He could surprise me.
I think Nick Frost was quite a good launch.
Yeah, I mean, it's not bad. I just think he surprised. He caught me off guard a bit.
Okay, well, I think if you see the series Star Wars Skeleton Crew, because he's a character in that, and he's basically a robot version of Hagrid. So if you want, you can have a look at that and see if your opinion changes. I think I agree. I think overall it looks good. I think they're at least trying to make themselves a bit different from the films, because I think for the most part the films are a fairly decent adaptation of the books.
Yeah, I mean, this
I think obviously they left certain bits out of it, but overall they're pretty much one-to-one adaptations.
I believe that the series is meant to be a bit more realistic to the books and follow the books a bit more to the T. Maybe not totally, but I think it's meant to follow it a bit more. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't look too bad. It definitely seems to match, from what we've seen, more in line with what the book said. I guess we'll just have to wait and see sort of how that pans out. It's dropping on December 25th, 2026.
So it's a Christmas release.
Yeah. I'm not sure if that's worldwide. I'm guessing it is.
Most likely.
Yeah, that will be in HBO Max, which has just completed its launch in Europe.
Yes,
I'm pretty sure that they've finished the roll or nearly finished the rollout, sort of worldwide. Not too sure about that. If you're comparing the film to this new series, maybe then temper your expectation and read the books, or even the audio books that you can get on everywhere, basically.
Well, what's it? There's the talking about the audio books, the Audible adaptations that are, I believe, still currently going out. I think they're doing a book a month, so I think they're either nearly finished or they are finished, because they started December, I think. No, It was some point later
It
in
was
the
fairly
year.
recent. Yeah, I think all in all, it didn't look too bad. Some of the casting may be a bit iffy.
Maybe we'll see.
But yeah, we just have to wait and see, basically.
So yeah, I guess before we move on to the next topic, we can talk about the launch of HBO Max itself. As you said, it's nearly completed its European run, which it started a couple of years ago. Yeah, I mean, obviously this has been a long waited.
Yeah.
We've been wondering when HBO Max would eventually launch in the UK. A lot of what their originals were on Sky or one of their channels. So I guess now people got access to shows like Game of Thrones a bit more than they did probably back in when I had it on Sky, because not everyone has Sky. As I said, Game of Thrones, DC shows, other shows like The Sopranos, The Wire.
Pretty much anything made by Warner Brothers.
Yeah, I think there's a couple of Looney Tunes stuff on there. So, you know, they've got, like Disney Plus, a bit of a good mixture.
Yeah,
of
and
shows.
all of the films are up for Oscars and that they made and everything like that. So yeah.
Yeah. So I think it will be good. I mean, obviously, I haven't seen what the numbers are at the moment. I think there might be a lot of, and I'm sure it's a success and everything, but I'm just wondering now with the upcoming vote for WB employees to sell to Paramount on April 20. It's either the 23rd or the 24th. See if that will, because as we mentioned before, that they were planning to merge both services together. So it'd be interesting to see what's going to happen, because I imagine if that wasn't happening, they might have done it better.
Yeah, I think that the launch is. I think the launch is going to go well to an extent. I think it was clever, particularly when launching it in the UK, to launch it at the same time that you dropped the Harry Potter series. Because obviously it is a worldwide phenomenon, but it's a UK phenomenon. A lot of people in the UK really like Harry Potter, and we have all sorts of stuff out here in the UK. So I think that was clever on HBO.
Yeah, I think it was a clever thing, and it's also for people who are a bit iffy now, like, maybe I'll give it a shot.
And you can watch the film before you watch the series.
That is true, though. I probably have all the films on there. Welcome back. And on the next topic, we'll be talking about some TV renewals from Disney Plus, being the Marvel surprise hit Wonder Man and Hulu's Paradise. So first things first, I think we talk about the surprise hit being Wonder Man. I think not many people expected it to be, you know, as good as it was. I think a lot of people thought it would be like very okay, very forgettable.
Yeah.
Obviously, I believe all its episodes dropped at once, which usually isn't a good sign. But yeah, people enjoyed it. I mean, we watched it recently. We quite liked it.
Yeah, I mean, it felt very different, like very different to the traditional Marvel sort of project. I mean, there wasn't really any like superpowers until like I think it was episode 2. And I mean, it felt very different, very fresh. I don't know, is Marvel Spotlight something new?
Yeah, it was a Marvel Spotlight. So I'm not too sure. I think the idea of a Marvel Spotlight is sort of to spotlight a character who's probably not going to appear in the films.
Okay.
Or something like that. So I think because I had Marvel special presentations, which was sort of like one-off episodes, like the Werewolf by Night, the Guardians of the Galaxy holiday special, which was sort of like a prelude to the third film that was coming out that following year.
Yeah.
And I think at the moment they've got a Punisher.
Yeah.
What's it called? One Last Kill, which is out May 12th, I believe. That was also confirmed this week as well. But I think overall, I think Wonder Man, I think I agree. It's very fresh. It mentioned events in the MCU. I think because one of the characters was Ben Kingsley's Trevor Slattery, who obviously in Iron Man 3 was meant to be the Mandarin, and he wasn't, and turns out no one liked that twist. So they fixed it years later with Shang-Chi. It revealed the real Mandarin. And yeah, I think he was probably the best character in there in terms of his development.
Yeah, I think it was clever putting him in there because obviously the whole point of his character was he was an actor playing this role. And so obviously, I mean, Wonder Man centers sort of around that essentially. An actor going for a gig called Wonder Man. He also has special powers, but we'll get into that in a bit. But essentially, that the main character Simon has it basically an actor or a budding actor. And he wanted this role called Wonder Man, which was an old film, and I think that putting Ben Kingsley in there with his character was quite good. I think the bounce and the whole point of he was meant to be on the cover, but he actually quite liked Simon and sort of went against that a little bit, against the grain.
Yeah,
I thought that was pretty good.
Yeah, I think their sort of chemistry together was actually quite well done. And I think that's probably one of the driving points of the series because they were so good together. And I think that's obviously part of the reason they renewed it. Yes, in terms of where season 2 can go in terms of its plot, where do you think? Because obviously series 1 had a plot, and now series 2 is it's reversed that a bit.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's hard because obviously the ending there in such a remote place. I would say it's not in a major city, so maybe they go to a different city and sort of start again, or maybe they stay up there and hide out, or I don't know. I don't. Yeah, it's an interesting one. It's an interesting one because I don't know if they'll go down the route of another like audition type of thing like they did in season 1, or whether they just sort of try and continue at sort of the movie that we're making.
Well, the movie was made at the end of the series.
Yeah, I think.
So unless there's another film, which is possible. I guess before we talk about Paradise, do you think there'll be any other crossovers with the MCU, or they had the Department of Damage Control? Do you think it'll be something like that, or because I doubt there'll be like Captain America in it or anything like that.
Something akin to like the TVA could show up. If there's potentially something that goes down. You might get like a potential crossover in terms of like an image or like a photograph or like some sort of video of Robert Downey Jr. as Iron Man, just to sort of link it a bit, but I don't think so. It's quite sort of separate because obviously it took place in LA.
Yeah.
I think quite a few other superheroes are sort of based in the LA area. I mean, they're mainly based in the New York area, or whatever they call it, but it's New York. Yeah, I don't think so. Do you?
No, unless it's something like Department of Damage Control, which has appeared in a couple of the films. Then no. I mean, they seem to be doing a lot of like mutant kind of things within the MCU. I believe in the Spider-Man film, there's meant to be an anti-mutant like protest or activist, so there might be something like that. But I don't know, because obviously I don't know when season 2 is gonna actually land. Whether it will be before Doomsday or Secret Wars or after. So I guess we'll have to see what a season 2 actually entails. And also, as we said, Paradise has got a season 3. So the show season 2 is currently on Disney Plus. I believe there's one episode left.
Yeah, which comes out Monday.
Which comes out, yes, this Monday or tomorrow or Monday. Yeah, I think obviously, I think now, because we've mentioned we've been watching it, and I definitely think, well, now it's most of the season's gone, I think it's definitely improved. I think it started quite slow, sort of focusing on other characters and obviously those sort of link eventually.
Yeah.
And then the story actually gets going, and obviously there's one episode left, and there's probably a lot that will happen. I guess.
Well, I reckon it's going to be a big cliffhanger at the end.
Yeah, probably. I think obviously we don't know what will happen in terms of what will happen in the finale. But I guess obviously there's been a lot that's actually sort of happened in the season prior to that anyway. Yeah, I mean, I guess it's a good show, so I'm glad it's actually continuing, hasn't got cancelled or anything like that.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I guess I'm quite interested to see what will happen. Obviously, we've got the finale to look forward to, and then we can actually probably talk a bit more about theories about the upcoming season once actually all concludes. But I guess it all relies on what happens in the finale. So I guess I have to wait and see.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. It was definitely a slow start. But yeah, it had picked up the pace a bit.
And welcome back. And for our final topic, we'll be talking about this year's Oscar ceremony and its possible future. Now, I guess to quickly recap on the Oscars that were a couple of weeks ago. Yeah, overall, it was a decent enough ceremony. I think some of the jokes landed better than others. Yeah, I mean, I think most of the films like Frankenstein, I felt were going to get the awards it actually did get. So I wasn't too surprised when it got was it set design and
Costume, wasn't it?
was it costume design? Yeah. I believe.
Yeah, I mean, I suppose there's no real surprises here. I mean, there was this big controversy about Timothy Chalamet, sort of the comments he made about I think it was about ballerinas and opera.
Yeah.
And a lot of people saying, "Oh, that's why he didn't get the awards," and blah blah blah. Like,
well, no, they decided their decision before that.
Yeah, the decision was made like a month before that, so that would have no effect on it at all.
We're going to be talking about the 4 categories we predicted a couple of weeks ago, which are Best Actor, Best Actress, Best Picture, and Best Director. I guess we'll start with Best Actor.
Yeah. So that was Michael B. Jordan. I think
Yes,
we
for
said Michael
Sinners.
B. Jordan. I guess no surprises really.
No. I think for most of the ceremony, it was more one battle after another v Sinners in terms of who got the most. Because obviously, as we mentioned, Sinners got about the most nominations ever for a film.
Yeah.
And I think it didn't. I don't think it actually got half of those, which was
No,
quite
I
surprising.
think one battle after another.
Yeah, one battle after another. I think got most of the awards it was nominated for. I think Sinners has got, well, I remember at least 4 of them.
Best actress, we said Jessie Buckley, and it was Jessie Buckley.
Yes, we did predict. I think that was quite an obvious one.
Yeah, I mean, she swooped all the other awards.
Yeah,
so
she's done all
kind
well
of
in the other awards, so it wasn't much of a surprise that she would win the Best Actress.
Yeah.
And obviously, like the Best Actor, I think there was a lot of good competition. Personally, I think for Best Actor, I think Chalamet did a better performance. But I think that's mainly because his character is a real dick. And I think because obviously his characters aren't really usually, or the characters he plays aren't usually like that. So it's sort of quite not refreshing to see, but showcases his talent. But I think Michael B. Jordan, because obviously his character was a dual role because he played twins. So I guess I kind of see why they gave it to him, because obviously, there's basically two separate characters in their own right, and they have to be very different from each other. And I think for the most part, they are quite different from each other. Yeah. So yeah, I'm not too surprised Michael B. Jordan got it, but I don't think he was the best candidate. I'm not saying Michael B. Jordan's a bad actor. No, I think he's a good actor. I just don't think that was the right role to win the Oscar.
Him. Yeah, I mean, I think overall that with those two, I don't think there was any I don't think there was anything that we didn't predict. Or yeah. We're going to do Best Director first.
Yes.
So this was Paul Thomas Anderson, who directed One Battle After Another.
Yeah.
Again, I don't think any surprises here. I think he was sort of geared up to win it.
Yeah, it was either him or Ryan Coogler for Sinners.
Yeah.
Who Coogler got I believe, the award for original screenplay.
Yeah.
So at least he won something. But yeah, I think sounds like Paul Thomas Anderson's had quite a history of the Oscars, as in he's been nominated before, but he's lost out, which is usually what happens. So it's good he's finally won one. Obviously, we haven't seen One Battle After Another yet. We've heard it was meant to be very good, but yeah. So I'm not too surprised in a way, but I guess it's good. I mean, it's good he's got recognition.
Yeah.
For his work, and and also I didn't know he was married to a comedian, Maya Rudolph. So that was quite a surprise.
And obviously Best Picture. They sort of kindly contested battle. But I guess no puns here. But One Battle After Another was victorious. I'm not sure. Obviously it was no surprise because they swept the ceremony.
Yeah, they did well overall. I think obviously again we haven't really seen it, but I guess in terms of, because it's interesting because both films had both Sinners and One Battle After Another had sort of like newcomers. So sort of, because obviously One Battle After Another had the actress Chase Infinity, which is an interesting name. But yeah, I think overall, because both of them had newcomers, so I guess it was sort of which film resonated with which one's a bit more different. Because I guess if you look at Sinners, a lot of people compare it to the film Dusk Till Dawn, which has a very similar sort of plot twist where it's about vampires. So I guess in terms of one better after another was obviously I guess a bit more original. That's why it possibly got it. And also I think, as we said, it got a few awards. I believe it got Best Supporting Actor as well, who was Sean Penn, who wasn't there to collect it. Instead, I believe he donated it to Zelensky, which was a bit interesting. But yeah, there you go.
Yeah, I mean, I guess surprising that Marty Supreme didn't win anything.
Yeah, I think I was quite surprised about that. I thought it might at least get something, but I guess the awards it probably would have got other films, but other films did better. So I think, yeah, because I didn't really have an original song, because the song it had as its sort of theme tune was like, he's like what, 40 years old, probably even longer than that. And it's like something like K-pop Demon Hunters with like Golden, which by no surprise actually won, I think, the best animated feature, as well as best original song or whatever. So, you know, it wasn't that much of a surprise.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think overall, I do agree it probably was done a little dirty. But I think in terms of the awards it could have got, other films did better in.
Yeah,
so, yeah, what can you say? If you lose out to other films like that, and yeah, I mean, to be fair, to be nominated is quite a milestone in itself. So I think obviously we'll have to wait, because I'm sure Chalamet will get an Oscar at some point. I'm sure he will get his recognition at some point. It's like Leonardo DiCaprio got his a long while, so you just gonna have to wait, basically.
So I guess let's look forward a bit for the Oscar ceremony. So in 2029, 2029, they're meant to live stream, I believe, only on YouTube. I mean, it might still be on
only
TV.
on YouTube.
It might still be on TV, but it's going to be on YouTube.
Yeah.
I think this is an interesting move, and I think this is definitely going to be sort of the direction for sort of content in terms of what production companies produce and things like live sport. Because obviously the Winter Paralympics was on solely on YouTube, I believe.
Yeah, well, at least in the UK it was.
So I thought that was pretty good, and the way they sort of spill it into the adverts on the screen, they sort of did like a split screen thing, and already you could still skip it. I thought that was quite good. Maybe sort of the implementation there, sort of because when the advert was playing, they sort of cut the audio of the actual Olympic event that was going on. So I think if they're going to do something similar with the Oscars, perhaps maybe don't cut the audio.
Maybe do something like that as well.
Yeah,
I think it's definitely an interesting avenue. As you said, the UK Channel 4 posted the Paralympics on their YouTube channel.
Yeah.
So I definitely think things like that are probably going to be more likely if something like that. Obviously, I don't think when the Olympics start in 2028, it'll be on the YouTube.
No, but maybe some of the events will be sold on YouTube.
Yeah, maybe a couple of the events will be on there, but not all of them. So I think this is definitely a sort of step forward because obviously the Oscars and that viewership in general has dwindled a bit. I
Yeah.
think it might be going back up a tiny bit now, but I think overall, yeah, I think
I
it
think this
makes
will
sense because
boost.
this will probably get more people invested.
Yeah. I think this will boost because YouTube is a growing site and has
Mm,
got millions of users every day, basically. So
yeah,
I think yeah, and the ability to pretty much go back and watch it at any point as well is
yeah,
quite good. And you don't necessarily have to watch it at the time that it streams either, which is quite good. I guess they would have to maybe cut the ceremony a bit, sort of work it out a bit and sort of change it because it's what 4 or 5 hours long currently
yeah,
the ceremony. So
yeah.
I
So
think they would have
it's
to
a
cut
long
it.
ceremony, and probably, I guess, if I mean, as you said, they'll do ad breaks, but I
Mm.
guess if they stream it solely on YouTube, they won't have to do ad breaks.
No,
I
they
know
could do it side
YouTube
by
does have
side.
ads, which you can, I believe, pay a certain premium to not have them
Yeah.
because they removed ad blockers years ago. Well, not years ago, I think like a couple of years ago.
Mm.
But yeah, it does. I guess I don't know. I think we can't really talk about too much because I imagine for the most part it will remain the same sort of ceremony. I guess as we mentioned, YouTube, we probably won't under have a glimpse until at least the next couple of years what it might look like.
Mm.
But
Do you think they'll try and like change sort of the way that the Oscars run next year, perhaps, to make it a bit more sort of social savvy,
um,
clickable, basically?
I don't know because obviously this year they did launched a new award I think believe called production management or something like that. And I guess there'll be more sort of, as we mentioned, there was going to be, or a couple of years ago, they said there was going to be a stunt category, I believe. I don't know when that's actually going to go ahead, but I guess there might be more awards like that.
Mm.
They might remove some of the older ones to maybe keep it a bit more fresh, but I don't know because I can't really see them changing the ceremony that much.
No, but I can definitely see them changing it to make it more sort of like clickable, basically.
Yeah,
Make people click on it
I
and
definitely believe
watch
they'll
it.
probably advertise it a lot more on YouTube because obviously it'll be streamed
Yeah.
live. But that's all I can really see at the moment. But I guess we do a bit of fun and predict what might be in contention to this on the next year's lineup.
It's barely.
It is a bit early, but it's fun to be early, isn't it? I
Yeah.
mean, obviously it's March now, and I guess I don't know if there's anything
I mean,
at the moment I can see that's been possibly been nominated, could be nominated. I think Goat might be in the best animated feature,
yeah, I reckon Go's in
but
animated. I'm gonna put potentially a wild card. I'm gonna put is this thing on in original screenplay or directing?
maybe. I mean, they had Will Arnett there presenting one of the awards, and they made a little joke about,
Hmm.
well, not about the film, but he mentioned that the film is out.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm not sure at the moment. I'm not sure. I think this is sort of like the early part. It's still a bit too early to tell. I think we've got till the summer
Yeah, I mean,
to sort of understand a bit more.
not a ton have come out at this point,
Yeah.
so it
So I
is a bit
think, as I
difficult.
said, Goat will probably be in the animated category. Uh, I imagine June 3 will be there at some point. Probably Doomsday will get a snub,
Probably.
but Yeah, I think it's probably a bit too early to tell, unless there's some films that we haven't seen yet that are out at the moment.
Maybe we'll come back to this later in the year.
Yeah, I think we'll come back to this at some point. But yeah, that's all we've got time for today. Thank you for listening to Miles Ahead. Don't forget to follow us on Instagram at milesahead.pod, and we'll catch you next time.